we now marking about 30 years of MEFME. 30 years ago, a visionary capacity building partnership was born in the Eastern and Southern African region, setting a foundation for a transformative progress and growth in the areas of macroeconomic and financial sector management. So as we mark this milestone today, we are not only considering that milestone, but we are also marking a legacy of excellence and progress, which is really a brand of what MEFME is today. So when you ask me how long I've known MEFME, you are now basically taking me to my personal relationship with MEFME. Following the birth of this institution, first as the Eastern and Southern African Initiative on Debt and Resource Management in 1994, before transforming into MEFME 2 years later in 1996. 10 years from that date of birth, I was introduced to MEFME as a resource person in a number of their programs, particularly macroeconomic management, where I was a lead resource person for no fewer than 10 programs that were organized by MEFME, and I led a number of resource persons in delivering these training programs to several dozens of participants across the region. But most importantly, beyond being a resource person, I think my close relationship with MEFME was over the period 2018 to about the first half of 2020, where I took leave of absence from the International Monetary Fund to come and serve as the executive director of MEFME. And while in MEFME, of course, I had a very competent team of staff at the Secretariat, where we initiated several transformative actions, from e-learning, remote working, flexible working arrangements, to integrating theory of change in evaluating the programs and the activities of MEFME. We also strengthened the collaboration between MEFME and other capacity building institutions, such as the Afritac East and Afritac South. We also worked hard to introduce the Portuguese language services for our Lusophone speaking countries who had a challenge in the English program that were initially being organized by MEFME. But also beyond that, we identified a niche where MEFME would actually operate in the region, given the several capacity building institutions which were working in the region. We identified a niche of in-country services, that is building capacity for groups of participants in a particular country. And that's where we excelled very well. Now, because MEFME was an evolving institution, I had a lot to contribute in terms of that evolution together with the team. Now, the nature of our programs, of course, had to change in light of those changes in the evolution. And the most prominent one was that the funding of MEFME changed from largely being donor-driven to member-based country contributions. And we had to ensure that our programs had to adjust to live within the resource envelope, while also developing certain sustainable initiatives, such as introducing the business development unit to commercialize some of the activities in MEFME in order to sustain its growth going forward. I think that partnership going forward will have to strengthen, because we need to use local capacity to support MEFME. I mentioned earlier on that the funding of MEFME has changed from being largely donor financed to member country-based financing now, about 82%. So it means that even the resources that MEFMI is going to use for conducting its programs and activities has got to be more inward-looking now from the region. And since it's more inward-looking, then Uganda has a contribution to make, specifically Bank of Uganda. I think because Bank of Uganda has got highly skilled staff, highly trained staff, some of them have qualified as MEFMI fellows, I think there is a chance for us to play a leading role in building capacity in the region. And not only that, a number of our staff have benefited from MEFMI programs. So therefore, the skilling and of our staff by MEFMI is contributing towards the operational efficiency within the central bank. So going forward, I see it as being a win-win situation for Bank of Uganda and for MEFMI in us using some of our fellows as resource persons in the region, and also benefiting from the skills development that MEFMI has, not only for the participants and the practitioners, but also in contributing to supporting the policy makers in Bank of Uganda and Uganda in general. I would like to congratulate the Board of Governors, the Executive Director of MEFMI, the staff of the Secretariat, the entire membership of MEFMI on this great milestone of reaching 30 years, where you have built a brand name, a legacy of excellence and impactful capacity building delivery in the region. And going forward, we need not to just stand on these achievements that we have to date, but we have to embrace the opportunities that the future has for us. The future has for us opportunities even in this radically uncertain and dynamic operating environment that we need to seize. There are many challenges that we are facing as central banks and also as ministries of finance, planning and economic development, who are the main beneficiaries of MEFMI and also the funders of MEFMI, in as far as the operating environment is concerned. We are having challenges in a situation where technology is invading the financial sector, where climate change is affecting our capacity to deliver on our mandates, and where we have challenges in ensuring that we are sustaining economic growth by ensuring inclusion of the bottom of the pyramid in the growth process if we are going to have sustainable growth going forward. So how we incorporate all these developments into our operational framework is very, very key. And I want to believe that MEFMI, together with the various member countries, have a role to play in this going forward.